what do you fucking know? An ad for an actual goddamn video game.
Which video game?
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak.
Oh.
Okay, I think audio is good.
All right, am I sounding any better?
It's more the theme song, so
Mm,
we'll see how that goes.
Well, you're a lot louder than we are now.
I got you. All right, I turned myself down a bit.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess we're
I
ready to
guess
begin.
we're probably good.
One way to find out, right?
Certainly good to try again on the theme song.
Alrighty then. We shall begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Welcome to the third review of the evening. Up this time is Iron Commando, Koutetsu no Senshi, which is Iron Warriors, if I'm to be believing Wikipedia here. Bit redundant, but whatever. Right. So, more backstory. Iron Commando is a Super NES era brawler, beat 'em up, something in the vein of Final Fight or Streets of Rage. Only kind of different, if only because not a lot of games. This comes from France instead of like Japan,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where most brawlers come from. The developer here wasn't unfamiliar with the genre. They had done Legend, which is another cult brawler on the Super NES. The thing with this one is this is actually like the long lost, let's say, ROM of Iron Commando. Because the game was finished back in the day, about 1995. But it was originally apparently supposed to be published by Sony ImageSoft.
And you might recall something that happened with Sony at some time late in the Super Nintendo's lifespan.
Yeah. Yeah. They were gearing up for the PlayStation. And ImageSoft was busy being rebuilt into Sony Interactive Studios America. So the this version of the game got put into limbo, but it did come out in Japan via pack-in video. So fast forward to some years ago, and I do want to preface that there is some controversy with this release because apparently when Pico Interactive got a hold of the distribution rights or whatever to this game, they apparently issued a takedown notice to the, let's say, gray market ROM that was the first discovery of the Western version of this, or the English version, or whatever. Is especially controversial since Pico has been making waves about preservation and NFTs. Apparently, that's not They haven't actually gotten into NFTs yet, but yeah, so that's a thing. But anyway, putting that aside, Iron Commando is a brawler, and it does have a gimmick in the sense that you might be noticing a lot of weapons on screen. That's the gimmick. It's a brawler that's not really interested in brawling. It's more interested in the weapons procurement, which I guess is, I won't say it's unique, because
and you're going to need to continue procuring because they each last about 3 shots, even the knives.
Yeah, it's like it's a I'll give it, it's a different cadence and rhythm than your usual brawler weapons, but it's still a well-worn mechanic in brawlers by 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this game was given to the Golics, so over to him for more details.
So yeah, I played this for a while, and so this is an arcade port, or no, an arcade style brawler, which means it's balls hard, even though there's no way to, surprisingly, insert coins into your Super Nintendo to continue. So
Shows what you know.
You can insert coins into your Super Nintendo, but it's not going to let anything continue. So yeah, there are infinite continues on this, but when you continue, you start over from the beginning of the stage. And in 3 attempts, I was not able to get to the end of the first stage, so I've seen the first stage of this game. You have 2 player character choices. One is a martial artist, and the other one is a soldier, and they're functionally identical. I did notice that the enemies you fight seem to have respectively small life bars. So they don't do that thing that some beat 'em up games have, where like you knock down the guys 5 times and they still don't get up. They still like keep getting back up.
That's so they can eat your quarters.
Yeah. I mean, still, healing stuff doesn't drop that often. Also, fair warning, the controls on this are not super, like, they are mappable, but it took me a while to figure that out because you have to press the escape button to get into the overlay that lets you change the resolution and stuff. I found this when I was trying to pause, actually, because I figured escape might do it. And even then, that doesn't tell you how to do the 2 special moves, one of which is the only way to actually use the grenades. I kept looking for a way to throw them, but no, the way you use grenades in this game is as a screen clear, apparently. And I think it consumes all of them at once.
One at a time.
Huh?
It does it one at a time.
Oh, well, that's good. Which is by jumping and then pressing on the Xbox, it's the A button. So... But yeah, by default, you can remap these on the overlay thing, and I probably would have if I had had more time. But by default, left face button is pick up item, right face button is jump, top face button is attack, and bottom face button is maybe pick up and throw stuff. It's kind of unclear, and I think that's also the one that you do in midair to do the grenade. You can also, while you're jumping, if you do the melee attack, it makes you do a dive kick because this is a brawler. So it's got to have a dive kick. The music was pretty decent. But other than that, it's... And apparently, going by the friggin' videos and stuff, apparently there are stages with, like, vehicles and stuff, but... so far as I got to, it's a street where you punch guys, and then occasionally there's a thing where you have to, like, punch the truck that's spinning up guys until it dies, and also punch the guys that are coming out of it. So, you know, creative.
Yeah.
Also, I found a lot of the pick-upable weapons are have issues in terms of how fast you can hit with them. And also... I've seen shotgun shells you can pick up. I'm not convinced I ever managed to use them because none of the pick-upable weapons last very long. Yeah, and as far as I can tell, food dropping to heal you is randomized, and I only ever seem to get it when I didn't need it, like right after dying and coming back. I don't know. I feel like this game would actually benefit from just being able to jam in coins, because then at least you can experience more of it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess if they had ever built it for the arcades, that would be something that they could
Yeah.
have done. Yeah,
Uh,
remember,
or
this
even
is
just
a.
put a cheat mode that lets you increase your number of lives from starting with 3 to starting with 9 or something.
I mean, that might be a thing that just nobody ever found.
Yeah, well, I couldn't find it. I actually had to look on the Steam page to figure out how to do some stuff, because there's no in-game instructions or guide or anything. And I'm pretty sure it didn't come with an instruction manual. So yeah, the pickup of the weapons are kind of slow. The characters, as far as I can tell, are interchangeable. The enemies, there are a few different kinds. They all have generic people names, so you can see what the name of the person you're punching is. It's the same way it is in like Final Fight, where all of the guys who look the same have the same name. I did not get to try 2-player, which it has. If I'd known Petty had it, I might have tried to play remote play together or something, but then again, considering we've been having some issue with the theme songs tonight, that might not have been such a great idea either, so who knows. So yeah, it only has remote play together, but that's theoretically at least online multiplayer. It does also support local, but I did not have access to a friend. My friend was not feeling good today, so he even missed Pathfinder. Yeah, do you guys have any questions? Because I'm kind of running out of stuff to say, but it's not that I don't enjoy this kind of game, but not the thing I know the most about.
It didn't. I played a bit of it. It didn't seem to be a particularly remarkable brawler. Like,
Yeah, the biggest thing is that and I'm used to brawlers that have sometimes where the enemies will drop like a hockey stick or a crowbar or something. This is the first one where I've seen enemies, especially even in like the first stage, that are routinely dropping guns for you to pick up and use.
mm-hmm.
Which
That's
again,
like,
they're not always optimal, but
yeah. Like, put it to you this way: it's not giving Final Fight or Knights of the Round or insert Capcom or Sega brawler here a run for its money. It's not
yeah.
awful.
Yeah, you don't have any super moves or cool things you can do aside from dive kick and jump 30 feet in the air and poo out 3 grenades.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that's striking to me. It's an incredibly limited brawler for the mid '90s. Like it's got a moveset that's comparable to the original Double Dragon. And even then, like I think that game had more moves than this thing because it put more emphasis on weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: weapons are a secondary feature, and oftentimes they're not all that good in brawlers.
Well, yeah, because they replace you have kind of like a 2 or 3 hit combo, I think.
Uh-huh.
Or at least you punch faster, and the weapons are generally don't have any kind of combo.
Yeah.
There is, I think, if you press the down the one of the weapon but I think with the down button or something, down face button, while you have a weapon, I think you can throw it, but that might have just been me running out of charges.
Yeah. No. Anyway, so in terms of pricing, this game clocks in at $8. No idea what the original Super NES version goes for. It apparently got a release on a thing called the Evercade as well. I don't exactly I think that's one of those new retro consoles.
Yeah.
Beyond the scope here, we just usually go for the digital version. It's on sale for $3.19. So, is that Is this worth that amount of money?
Sure, I guess. Apparently there are like 9 or 10 stages, I think, which is pretty, and like there is allegedly some kind of plot here, and text shows up on the screen occasionally if you care to take time to read it in the middle of being punched and or shot at.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not that I don't think it's a bad game, but it's a fairly unremarkable brawler. So if you enjoy brawlers and want something new, but not like chronologically, something that you haven't played before, probably, unless you had the ROM or whatever.
Yeah. Or had
yeah.
a Super Famicom.
Yeah, I think it's decent and possibly worth looking at as like as a historical thing, but it's not going to be necessarily the most enjoyable game to play. And let's just put it this way: while I'm sure that a skilled player could get through this game in a short amount of time, if you're new to the game, it's going to take you a while to get anywhere through it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that'll about do it for Iron Commando. Be sure to tune in after the break, as we'll be reviewing Dear Esther Landmark Edition.